All right, our next guest, I met him literally 3 minutes ago. His name is Luis, and it's first time here at the IPIA. So, Luis, go ahead and introduce yourself to the ice industry that's watching.
Oh, thank you. Well, first of all, it's a pleasure. So I'm Luis from Spain, Madrid. So our company is ABR Refrigeration. So we are a manufacturer of industrial gourmet ice machines. It's basically a tube ice machine, which is similar to the ones you find in the US. But the main difference is that the product, the ice, we call it gourmet ice because it's a solid ice, no hole in the middle. It's also not being cut regularly, but it's actually a saw cutter, so you have regular cut, so all the cubes the same size, no cracks, solid ice. So we call it gourmet, right?
Okay.
So the company was founded almost 100 years ago, it's 1927. But the machine manufacturing started like 20 years ago. And since then, almost all the major ice manufacturers in Spain are using our machines.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So now it's the same happening all over Europe. So in Italy, Portugal, France, Germany, now the UK. So we have more and more customers each year in Europe. And now we also want to bring this to the U.S.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that was going to be my question. So, do you have any U.S. customers thus far?
Well, as of today, we have a couple of projects, but it's still ongoing.
Sure.
So because it's difference on the quality that the people is demanding. So we know that in the U.S. Most of the ice is used for like let's say for picnic for to chill some drinks from the outside bottles or cans, and in Europe is different. Most of the ice is used inside the drink, so quality is more important. But this is changing. So this is changing because now you see that. We have seen that not only the U.S. Most of the countries that traditionally used, let's say, ice, they didn't care about the shape or the quality, but now people use for the bartenders or some high-end restaurants. They want a good quality ice for the whiskeys, for tequilas, or whatever drink. They want to have a big cube or small cube, but craft ice.
Yeah.
Right. But it's the ice available today, handcrafted, is very expensive. We personally, only our company, we think that is not the best on the safety, so food safety. At the end, ice is food. The IPIA. When this is a manual process, a lot of things are involved that are not good on an industry level quality. So, that's the idea. So, we think the market is good enough. So, if people are saying, oh no, 80% of the ice is used for refrigeration and not for the drinks. Okay, that 20% is millions of consumers that are looking for a good quality ice, and they will prefer to spend less money than what is being charged today for handcrafted ice.
Right.
Yes.
So it sounds to me like you guys are kind of like creating a middle segment between what we would consider the typical packaged ice and the craft that's a very manual, detailed ice.
Yeah,
you guys are kind of creating a middle segment that's a premium packaged.
Yeah, we think that this is something that U.S. ice producers could be thinking of, but our machine can also produce the standard ice, let's say with a hole in the middle, but perfectly cut, and at the same production cost. So you can have two different, let's say, production lines. So you can have the standard ice that you want for refrigeration at the same production cost, but perfectly cut. Right? And you can have also the solid ice if you want to sell it. Your production cost will be the same, but you can sell it for more. So you can name it as a middle, let's say, point, or the same standard ice, but better quality. But as mentioned, the price, the production cost is not more. That's something that people may think.
Interesting.
Okay, your machine will be more expensive, or my production cost will be more expensive. No. So that's because the technology, it's thought to be industrial, so pure industrial. And on Spain, as mentioned, or Italy, if you go to the supermarket, if you go to a restaurant, they will not tell you want regular ice or quality.
Right,
no,
right.
that's
It's
our
just the
ice
ice,
is the
yeah.
standard. Our ice is the standard, new standard. So this was not the same 20 years ago.
Yeah.
Now it is.
Well, I have another question for you, Luis. So when it comes, one of the big things, like when I visited Europe, and I haven't been to Spain, but particularly when going into London and a few of the other Scandinavian countries, ice is not you can't assume that when you order a drink that you're going to get ice. So it's not something that, I guess
Super
restaurants,
common.
it's not super common for them. Or if you order water. If you order water here in the United States, it's going to come with ice every time. Is that something that you guys are trying to change, or is that a mindset that, to get, or what makes it different between the U.S. mindset of always having ice versus European?
Well, I think that changes country to country. So, for example, on Spain, you have the 41 millimeters, 45. I think on inches will be, well, let's say the standard that you can see the 2 vials. So will be, but that will change from Italy. It's a different diameter. On France, it's a different one. So I think there is no like a standard mindset on Europe. It changes country to country. But and it's what is similar. So as in you do US, you have water with ice. Yesterday I was having this on Broadway, this very nice Nashville restaurant, and we just sit and they give us just 2 cups of water with ice.
Right.
Full, so it's
Right.
completely full.
Right.
I was okay, nice.
Yeah,
It's nice. And especially if it's water, because then you have more time water because it's the ice melting. So
Right.
and it's the same on Spain. So you have a cup,
Okay.
and it's the same. So maybe not in England, but I think that's changed a lot depending on the country. But we're not trying to change, let's say, the mindset. No, it's not the target. It's more than you can have very similar product, but better. I mean, if you are having a scotch, which is an expensive drink, or I don't know, whatever you like, a gin tonic, you are there for the drink, not for the ice, right? The ice is just to cool the drink, and you don't want it to be watered down. So when the ice is solid, it's the heat transfer is slower, so you have more of the drink that you want for more time.
Right.
So that's on that example. And then also if you are having on your house, so the usual package, the size on Spain is 2 kilos, which is 5 pounds. And it's usually packed in 5 bags. So you have roughly, let's say, 25 pounds if you want to take it to your home, or 5 pounds. And when you go home, you want to get the ice loose. That's the target. I think for me, I would prefer to have a couple of ice cubes to be easy to take and to place it on my drink, and not to have to heat it and get ice shattered and pieces and then a mess, and then you don't use all the bag. Okay, so it's not that we are trying to change, or the mentality is that you can have the same process but better, right? So similar. So if you want just a couple of ice cubes, you get it. You don't have to crush the bag.
Right.
It's funny to me because I grew up in Canada, where if you wanted ice, you would literally take the trays out of the freezer, crack them, put 1 or 2 cubes in each cup, and then living down here, I mean, nowadays,
fill it up with ice.
You just fill it up with ice and you dribble in a little bit of Coke or whatever it is you're drinking. It's just a different culture and mindset.
It's still considered, most places want to fill it up with ice because the more expensive part of it is the soda itself over the ice. So they want to go with the less expensive side of it and put more ice. But That makes sense. I mean, obviously, we would love for you to divulge, what projects you're working on, which I assume you probably won't, but we would love to do that. So, maybe it might be something that we talk, get your information, have you on for a longer format podcast, or get, we also do nuggets, which are shorter, that you can give us an update later, if you want to go out to the industry. So, definitely let us know about that. Coming to the U.S., have you been to the U.S. much?
Yes, yeah. So we had a couple of projects. So I think as of today, the main challenge is that people is thinking, this is there's no market for this because it's something different, and that's where it's not different.
Yeah.
It's the same but better. So it's like an optimized version of what you already have. So it's not that you're bringing a different product, something that is not water. No, so it's basically a similar product, but more convenient for the end user, the consumer. Of course, we're more than glad to share when you want more details. So we have real examples for example, Mexico. So we have a lot of customers on the Americas that 20 years ago they were we are very similar to the U.S. This is not a big market. Now all the people that is not using these eyes is like scared. Okay, and they are asking us, or they want to know where they are getting this type of eyes, and they are being competitive. So that's I think the key for the ice producers. So they are not less competitive; they are more competitive because they are offering the same production cost, a product that they can add a fee because it's gourmet or better, premium.
Yeah.
So it's very interesting. So country to country, it's different stories. So we have recently some machines on Chile, Argentina. You said, well, this is not the same as in Spain, right? But so I think we can go in detail when you want.
I feel like, Jeff, as we're wrapping up here, we have a what you call a cliffhanger. So,
well, I want to ask one question that comes to my mind that I'm wondering if people watching this would immediately think this. You're talking about a very large investment in your company. If you're an ice producer here in America and you're going to ship that machinery over here, would the shipping costs not be extremely high? How do you handle that? Is that...
Well, that depends on the country due to the customs agreements. But as mentioned, so we ship a lot to Latin America, which is not closer than the U.S. From Spain, and it makes sense for them.
Probably better tariffs, though.
Yeah. So all these tariff changes from
just wait a week or two.
Yeah, last year was different.
Yeah.
So it's based the shipping. Well, I think it's not a challenge. It also changes time to time. So I think you have just 4 or 5 main these vessels company that. So it's not on us. So you can look in advance for a better shipping price. It's not a challenge. But what, of course, most companies say this, but you can. This is something that on Europe is very important, as in the U.S. The service, the after-sales service. But on the 2-vice machines particularly, it's not a big maintenance topic because the evaporator itself is built to last at least 20 years, 25. So it's not something you're thinking to replace in 5 years, such as commercial machines. So it's very different. And the refrigeration part, for example, the compressor, condenser, this is something that you can do with the installator that you have used for the last years. So it's not different. It's not something that you will not be able to do by yourself if you have experience. And you also can do it with the same installator that you have been working and you have confidence, because all the other parts are commercial. Okay. So it's a filter, compressor, or evap condenser. So it's the difference is in the system, how we set up the system. and of course the evaporator. So, and that is not meant to be replaced. So it's a full stainless steel, 25 years at least lifetime. So in Mexico, that was a big topic because people was thinking, oh, how you will service this? So and they installed machines more than 15 years ago. We just started with 3, now they have, I think, 8, looking for more. So that's a very good example on the service and also the lifetime of the product, which is not the same as commercialized machines.
So wrapping up, is this something you're wanting to go, straight to market? Are you looking for distributors?
Well, as of now, we are going straight to market because even the distributors are thinking, such as the ice producers, no, this is something that we don't see much interest. So, but of course, we're willing to collaborate with the companies that are seeing this as an opportunity because it is. We are convinced. It's just a matter of time. We're convinced of this. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Well, thank you Luis. Thank you very much for joining us. Welcome to Nashville, and hope you have a great conference.
Yeah. Good to meet you. Thank you.
Talk to you soon.
All right.
Bye.
All right, we're here back at day 2 at the IPIA in 2025 here in Nashville, Tennessee. We're super excited to be still meeting new people, and our next guest is someone that we barely know. We've just gotten to meet them. Her name is Lindsey. Lindsey, go ahead and introduce yourself to the podcast.
Well, hello, I am Lindsey Ragan. I work with Yosemite Packaging out of California. We're Sacramento, California, NorCal for people on the West Coast. And we are a primary packaging provider. Small team, really dedicated to service and quality. And we formed in 2020, so we kind of got brave.
I was going to say that timing wasn't so good on that one, right?
It turned out to be really good for us.
Good.
Yeah. The core group of us worked together at a company and had different philosophies and really had connected on how we wanted to service our customers. And in that shakeup of the industry, we kind of grew our own branch. And
I like it.
Yeah, it's been really, really rewarding. We really enjoy it. We have a great relationship with our coworkers and the team. And yeah, I've been doing packaging for about 8 years now.
Okay.
And 5 years for this company. So
okay.
Well, Jeff, while you were doing some IPIA events and you had a speaking part today, you said you were more comfortable behind the mic than you are the podium.
I'm definitely more comfortable behind the microphone. I know that if I really mess up bad, we could always edit it. I know that we often leave our mistakes on there and only edit what the guests might want us to edit. But when you're on a stage in front of a whole lot of people, if you mess up, it's just everyone laughing at you. So,
well, everybody knows, in the audience, they don't want to be up there
right.
laughed at. So I did theater a few times, so I can be somebody else in front of a lot of people. But myself is a little different.
Yeah. Well, so while you were doing that and you were trying to make your way, so we had to get started a little bit later, she came up, and as we were talking, I started realizing some of the questions I wanted to ask. I was like, well, I need to wait. So I need to wait. I need to wait. Okay. So we had some uncomfortable, awkward silence. No, we had some good conversations. So, so how many are you a part of any regional associations or?
This is really our first association that we've joined. We do a lot of local charities and things like that, and that's where a lot of our time goes, our kind of collectively spare time. But we happened upon a customer that needed film for dry ice, and then we learned about the IPIA, and we wanted to find out more about this branch of packaging, this industry, the ice industry. So we thought this was a good place to start.
Interesting. So not many people come to the IPIA via dry ice, but some members here do both wet and dry, so that's very cool.
It's been we've learned a lot. We've made good connections, which we knew was going to happen. That's what this event is all about. So we've definitely branched out into a new area for us.
Well, speaking of branching out, how far is your footprint at the moment, and what are you hoping to get to?
Oh, as far as just packaging in general?
Well, packaging in general, but also just geographically.
Oh, we're all over the United States
Okay.
as far as what we service. We have customers, of course, West Coast, up and down the West Coast. A lot of Southern California. I mean, that's a big area for farming and produce packaging. And then we have customers in New Jersey. We have customers that we help in Southern America or South America.
Yeah.
We have Midwest, a few customers in the Midwest. We try to isolate to areas that we can get to really easily and be in person and present when needed. So we have to look at that when we're working with new companies. But if there's an airport nearby, we can make it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
How does shipping costs affect you?
well, so we do a lot of manufacturing overseas and then in other areas of the country. So we identify the manufacturing partner that we want to work with based on logistically what we can take advantage of. So sometimes we have this partner that does this film that's really great, but they're not the best shipping partner, so we kind of vet and look at other options.
Yeah.
So we're all about finding efficiencies.
Makes sense.
Very cool. So you mentioned going on site. That's not something I would picture happening a lot for a packaging company. Is that something that you guys have to do quite a bit?
It is a lot, actually.
Okay.
So we like to people are busy. We don't like to go in and be present while they're trying to work, but we build relationships with our customers and we network a lot. So oftentimes when it's equipment questions or problems, we come on site with technicians and help troubleshoot.
Cool.
On the film side, and we get materials that they might need for troubleshooting and things like that. We have a lot of partners in the equipment arena, so there's a lot of cross referrals and things like that. It's all networking, but there is a lot of times that our customers call and say, "Hey, we're broken down. Can somebody come out here and just help us bounce ideas?" And we have some team members that are really good at that. That go at the drop of a hat a lot of times.
Okay.
In the dry ice, you're talking about the film. What makes a good film? What makes a bad film when it comes to dry ice? What are the properties?
That is, honestly, I'm customer service. I have a couple team members that I would defer to that.
Yeah.
But it's all about the sealability. So when it seals, it needs to be a strong seal. It needs to be able to seal quickly and effectively, without gaps, without breaking, without tearing,
Right.
And leaking and things like that. Dry ice has venting, so it's not as strong of a sealed,
Right.
Airtight package. But yeah, it's all about the blend and when it's made or extruded, and then that being consistent so that it performs on equipment the way that you expect it to.
Right.
And every machine has little nuances, and humidity changes things and weather changes things, and so you want a film that kind of stays right in the middle while all the other fluctuations impact it.
Right.
So,
It's always interesting to me. Before I came to work for KCS and RouteMan, I didn't know the ice industry was an industry. I didn't know that, packaging would be considered really an industry. I never really thought about it. You would just see a plastic bag. It's a plastic bag. And it turns out that is a very intricate, complicated, list of ingredients that you're working to try and get the optimum results.
And also turns into a sport, because
Yeah.
you gotta. They'll want to throw it into ice. So if you've never been to an ice show, sometimes they'll have some competitions where they'll have a bunch of bags, bring in a pallet of bags, and see who can chunk them the furthest. So you don't want to be the packaging or the supplier to that the bags are just ripping as people are trying to heave-ho them. So.
Right.
well, everybody takes ice and they drop it to break it apart.
Yeah.
Your bag has to
Be
stand the
sturdy.
test. Yeah, you have to be
And
able to drop it on the ground.
It has to stand up to the temperatures. Lots of different variables there. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, is this your first time to Nashville?
Oh, actually, I grew up about 2 hours southwest of here,
Okay.
so I've been here a lot.
All right.
Okay.
well, So you're headed southwest. So where is that?
Jackson, it's the
Oh, yeah.
biggest
Okay.
city between Memphis and Nashville.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's biggest claim to fame. Carl Perkins is from there.
Okay, gotcha.
So, but yeah, I grew up there. I lived there for 27 years before relocating to California. So
Very familiar with that area. I went to school at Freed-Hardeman University, and
my whole family's in Henderson.
there we go, Henderson, Tennessee.
Tiny
So,
town.
yeah, shout out to them. I never thought I'd bring them up on the podcast, but yep, it happened.
Did you hear about Bell's Burgers?
Did
the
it burn
diner?
down?
Yeah.
Yeah. So Bell's was we
Original 50s diner.
yeah we
Oh,
call
okay.
it
None of the fake ones, right? They
No,
come
it's-
up and just say,
It was the
a bummer.
greasiest greasy spoon I ever visited, and it was glorious
It was the best hamburger I've ever had.
for college kids, right?
Yes.
yeah, right.
Very
Well,
cool.
we really appreciate you joining us. Thank you for telling us a little bit about yourself.
packaging.
Yeah, Yosemite. Hope you enjoyed the show. I hope this first IPIA is a blast, and we encourage you to also check out the regional shows. So, Jeff offline can tell you more about it, or watch our podcast, because I think we talk about it almost every episode. So,
Yeah.
but we appreciate you joining us. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Lindsay.
All right.
All right, next up we have a couple with us. So Lisa and Matthew from Chip Off the Block Ice, and go ahead and tell us a little bit about yourselves.
Okay, I'm Lisa. Matt and I have been married for a few years now. We are new into the ice business, so we're walking into our third season.
Very cool.
Not running, walking. Is that right?
Well, I don't know. Pretty much running
Maybe getting beat up around the corners. You go here or there.
daily.
And you're located in?
We are in Morgantown, West Virginia.
Okay.
All right. What's the main thing that you guys are selling? What do you bags? What's your offerings?
Oh, we sell 7-pound and 20-pound bags. We finally got everything automated, so it makes it a little easier on us. And
Yeah.
just happy to be here and learn more.
Right.
Awesome. So, tell us a little bit of the story. You said being married a few years, getting into the business, walking into the business. What was the leaping off point that said we want to go freeze stuff and sell it?
Well, I worked in oil and gas for about 10 years, and just seeing some of these contractors just take hundreds of bags of ice a day, I just thought it'd be a good idea to buy ice machines and start selling ice. So
There you go.
That's kind of what we started with.
Yeah, most of the time, we've got a lot of legacy people. So if you've spent any time in this business and you talk to a few folks, you find there's a lot of history and legacy in the family business. So, but one of the things that we find, I'd love to get your opinion on this, but there's a lot of people, a lot of resources, and they want to help people like you guys get started. It's such a kind of a family organization, if you will, that they want to see other people succeed. Have you guys been able to talk to folks?
Yeah, we have. We've met a lot of people just over the last 2 days, and everybody's been very welcoming, willing to help, give us advice. We're just getting our feet wet, and it's been a crazy ride, but it's good to be around people that have the same problems, have faced the same things, because really, unless you're around it, you have no clue what all goes into it.
Right.
Yeah.
Most people don't ever sit there and think that deeply about it, right?
Yes.
It's a pretty unique industry in that as long as the other ice company you're talking to isn't right next door competing for the same customer, they have no reason to hold back, and they'll share all kinds of knowledge and introduce you to other people in the industry. And I think that's a pretty cool part of coming to the associations, right?
Oh, for sure. That was the main thing of just of course, we don't have many competitors where we're at, so there's a lot of people here that we will never, cross paths with again. So they're more than willing to help us, and it's been good just talking to different people and learning and hearing that, we're not the only ones that have been through it just in their first couple of years.
So
sure.
oil and gas. So do you come home cleaner working in the ice industry, or you?
It just depends. I'm still working, probably working more now than I used to, but maybe a little bit cleaner.
Yeah, that was going to be my follow-up was, what are the hours? I mean, You said you're oil and gas. Did you have your own business while you were doing that, or were you working for someone else?
No, I was a third-party inspector. So Intero Midstream is a gas company. They hire people like me to inspect their pipelines, compressor stations, and just make sure it's no shortcuts are getting made or anything. So.
Yeah, but days longer when it comes to ice in the summer? Or?
Yeah, I mean, there's days where I leave at 3 a.m, don't get in until after midnight, just making sure everything's taken care of. And I mean, it's crazy, but we love it.
Yeah, at that point, you might as well just stay there, right?
Yeah, right.
Just keep working.
Yeah.
Get another Red Bull and go, right?
Exactly.
So I'm interested to learn more about, so you were like an auditor or safety inspector, and
I have my NACE, so I inspected like the abrasive sandblasting, coating, a lot of welding, grading, pretty much anything that goes into it. So.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think it'll be interesting as you get into learning about the industry standards that IPIA really tries to enforce to get accredited with the IPIA. There's all kinds of guidelines, and I think for a lot of people that's like super intimidating, but it'd be interesting to see. For you might think, well, this is nothing, this is obvious, I'm already doing half this stuff.
Right. Yeah, that was whenever we first started, and I really dug into laws, and that was going to be my job to make sure everything was legal. And I've done a lot of things that I just learned a few weeks ago. I don't need to be doing them.
Yeah.
But it's good because now I know, with the FDA and things like that, the IPIA, a lot of their regulations are the same, and I've already done most of it. So even though I didn't need to, which if I would have known that, I probably wouldn't have, but just, knowing that we're not going in completely blind anymore is just relieving.
Yeah. Right. I'd rather be on your side of the business, Matthew, instead of the on that side.
Yeah.
What's your background? Prior to this.
So I managed a home health agency for a few years, and then I got into the trucking business. So I was managing a trucking company, and then we started having more kids. So I haven't actually worked for somebody else in about 6 years. It's been about 6 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
What have you found that was unexpected in the ice business that, again, I mean, it's just freezing water, right? So
The expense.
Okay.
There's just a lot more to it. I mean, you got to have all your ducks in a row, and if something doesn't go your way, I mean, there's a way around it. It just might be a nightmare for a little bit,
Yeah,
But,
that makes sense. When it comes down and just learning some of the dynamics of, when you go to a store and put your ice back together, how, you want to go to the top. It self-insulates itself. And sometimes you don't think about that if you haven't been in the industry before, but, the more ice you can put in there, it just kind of helps itself, stay frozen, and you have less expense cooling that area. It's just the little things that can add up.
yeah, there's a lot more to it than you would know.
Right.
Yeah, for sure.
Lisa, how about you? What have you seen or been anything different for you?
I just never really expected to be doing this, but it has been so cool just to learn about really all that goes into it. And I think the most unexpected thing for me would definitely be how it's made and the type of equipment that's used. And you start getting automated things because it's literally impossible to do it all by hand. At this level anyways. So it's just been unexpected that all of the things that we have now, that we just we made it here without knowing anything. So.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
School of Hard Knocks will teach you a bunch, right?
Yes, for sure.
So anyone out there who's watching, who's thinking about doing it, it could be a bumpy ride, but you can do it.
That's
Lisa and
right.
Matt are doing
Yeah.
it. They're
Yeah.
rocking and rolling. What is, if you had to pick one thing that's happened so far, the convention isn't over, we haven't done plant tours, we haven't done all the different things, but if you had to pick one thing, what's your favorite thing that you've been able to do so far?
I really enjoyed going through the exhibit hall this morning. That was good, just to meet some of the people that we've talked to on the phone 100 times.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Putting a face to a name is, always a good thing in every aspect. So I think the exhibit hall was definitely like my favorite.
Yeah, I agree. It's just nice to talk to people that have the same thoughts as you, going through the same thing, and just meet a lot of good people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Our the Santiago Mina, he's the guy that does our post-production and everything for the podcast. He was talking about, and he had the opportunity, so we're only about 3 hours away from here, so with this being the grand event, we were able to bring several extra people. So if Jeff didn't tell you, this isn't our day job doing the podcast. So, but we have a booth inside there as well, but we were able to reward a few employees to be able to come up and spend the day, and they were so excited about that. But Santiago in particular, because he edits the podcast, he's seeing these people walk by and he's like, oh, I know him, but then it's the oddity and the uncomfortable nature, like walking up. He's like, yeah, I've been watching you for 2 hours.
Right.
It's like, what's going on?
Okay.
So
and they may never have seen his face.
Right. Yeah.
that's right. But
Yeah.
it goes to what you're talking about, being able to put faces with names and things like that, even our crew just super excited about seeing people,
Right.
in our digital world. And yes, we can do Zoom, we can do Teams, we can do those things, but it's nothing like, pressing the flesh, and saying hello and all that. It's what makes us human. And unfortunately, we become more and more disconnected, it seems like, every year. So,
Yeah.
but, love having it. And thank you guys for joining us on the podcast. Wish you guys the best of luck. If there's anything we can ever do for you, we've talked to a few guests that have been able to put them in touch with some other people.
Yeah.
So it's not even hitting our booth or any of that. If we can help you out, that's why Jeff and I started this podcast.
Yep.
So
Yeah, thanks a lot. We appreciate it.
yeah,
Thank
thank y'all for
you.
joining
Super
us.
glad
Of
you guys
course.
are here. Thank you
Yeah,
so
us too.
much.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot.